Hi, this is Tony Barchetti with the Maven Poker Training Center here in Las Vegas. And we have another one of our students, and I wanted to ask a couple questions about how your training experience went this week. This is Mike with another local Las Vegas poker player. How are you today?
Good.
Thanks for your time. I want to just start off by asking what your poker experience was before coming to the class. How many years have you been playing? What kind of winning player, break-even player, losing player? How would you rate yourself and how many years you've been playing?
I started playing online. I'm a moneymaker effect guy. I mean,
2003.
and I'm not a big losing online player, but I'm not a profitable online player. Then the free bar league situation started, so I started playing live poker then. And after I won my third big screen TV as a prize, because they didn't give you cash at those things, I just started playing a lot more live tournaments and tournaments only. In Colorado, where I'm from, the casino limits are 2-5 limit only, so they're horrible games. I don't play those, but they have good tournaments though.
Good tournaments. So you felt you had some limited success in live tournaments, you told me earlier, but online you really struggled and basically lost money.
Right.
And I think most live players admit that, but some like to fool themselves. So it's good to hear that.
No,
and that's why you came. You want to
it's
see.
easy. If you don't get checks out online, then I get small checks from some of them, but certainly not what I've ever deposited.
Right. After taking this class, do you feel that you're going to be able to make money online now?
I really feel that I can go online and compete. I'm just kind of a straightforward ABC type player, and this has given me a whole bunch of tools that I can really go with. I mean,
it's opened your eyes to ways to make money that you chips, let me say, chip up that you didn't know before.
I can beat the guys that the way I used to get beat.
Right. So when you were playing ABC poker and guys were exploiting you, now you know how to play like that.
Right.
So, would you do this course all over again for what you learned from it?
I would.
And was this generic stuff that was taught in the course?
No.
Play tight early, this kind of generic theory? Or did you get nuts and bolts on how, when ABC happens, you do one, when DEF happens, you do two? This kind of stuff.
I learned how to professionally use the online tools that are available that I wasn't using, that the professionals do use, because they didn't make sense to me. So I was trained in that area, and then techniques to exploit players, and that's what I was really looking for.
I did too when I learned this, and I equated it to almost, I realized before when I was playing, almost playing blind.
Right.
And now that I see what I see, it's like, oh my God.
Right.
It was an awakening, and I think you have the same experience. So, for the general person that's out there deciding whether they want to pay the money to take this kind of course, what would you give them as advice?
Well, if you would have asked me 2 months ago if I would have ever paid this much money to take a course, because I've thought about taking some of the other courses, but I just could never justify it. But I did pretty well in the World Series this year, in the seniors, and then in some of the mega, so I could afford to take this course, and I decided to take the course instead of sitting in the main event, because I didn't feel I was qualified to go very far in the main event, even though I want to seed into the main event.
Great. So you're honest with yourself.
Yes.
Now, as that investment, now that you've invested this week, do you think you'll get it back in spades?
Oh, a dozen times over before the end of the year. And I approach poker as an investor, not as a gambler. And I own real estate, I day traded, I've done a lot of investing things, and approached my whole life as an investor. So that's the way I approach the game, not just some crazy gambler.
So you're not burning the $5 grand or whatever. You invested it, and you see the potential return from what you got out of it.
And that's exactly what I expect.
You're a great student, and it was great to meet you this week, and we wish you a lot of success.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.